Vicky. This is Cat Mum Crafts, and this is a crochet and chat. Before we get going, and yes, I know I'm doing it in the weird way. This is my absent-minded way. But before we get going, I'm going to briefly put it down for 2 minutes while we open number 10 of Miss Ellie Laver's Crafts and More Crafty Community Stitch Marker Counter. Oh, that's gorgeous. That has to go with the little coat hanger, definitely. Little itty bitty sewing machine. Oh, that's lovely. Miss Ellie, you are an absolute genius. And yes, briefly, I will confirm I am batch recording on a Thursday. I am at some point going to sort these out, because I'm not entirely sure really what I want to have, where they're all just going on. I have a sort of theory. I've got specifically yarny, miniatures, and that one. Tape measure, and specifically sewing. Because as we all know, I don't. Anyway, today while I'm sitting chatting at you and holding my everything in the unconventional manner, I'm going to be making a granny square. Just for Christmas, my Christmas blanket, which you will have seen my 5 red ones yesterday, I think. Yes, because this is going to you on Saturday. Sorry if you can hear the squeaking, it's acrylic yarn. And now I have to shut the window, do excuse me. Sorry, next door decided to start playing loud music out of the car. Where was I? Yes. This is a Saturday. I'm recording on Thursday, but it'll be Saturday in your time. So anyway, yes. So last crochet and chat, you learn a little bit of something about me generally. I just thought I'd talk to you for a few minutes about my crafting history. I have been making things, quite often messes, for as long as I can remember. My mum and dad, for their Christmas tree, still have some Christmas decorations I made when I was a very tiny little Vicky. I have a vague memory when I was in guides, so sometime between when I was 10 and when I was 16, of carving soap for a badge, probably the craft badge, because, you know. More recently, in what I would call organised crafting, organised by me, so not really organised. I cross-stitched for quite a long time, up until 2016-ish, I want to say. The last piece I remember making was in India, and it sadly vanished, so I had to remake, and that was definitely 2016. I will insert a picture around here somewhere of the one piece remaining that I have in my house. After that, I had, when it first appeared on the scene, about 3 years I think, of diamond painting, and I'm going to stop it and insert, because I've got quite a lot more of them, a sequence of pictures of my diamond painting. Hi again. So yeah, that was from about 2016 to 2019, and how I got into diamond painting was quite funny. My best friend cross stitched as well, so I ordered a cross stitch kit for Christmas, and it came, and I didn't really pay that much attention to it. I just packaged it up, and Christmas Day we rang each other to say Happy Christmas, as you do. And she said, "Oh yeah, I love the present, but what is it?" I was like, "It's a cross stitch kit, babe." She says, "No, it's not. It's got all these funny little things." So she put me on video call, and she showed me. I was like, "Oh, right, okay." So she investigated a bit further and discovered that it was sticky and that you could stick the diamonds on. So she says, "Well, it's not cross stitching, but I'll have a go." This was when it was called diamond cross stitch. That's why I got a bit baffled. So I'm just examining where the cat scratched me. The cat scratched me on my foot and it's quite sore. Anyway, so a couple of weeks later, she said, "You should have a go." So I did, and I got a little bit addicted. Quite a lot addicted. And then it started to annoy me, so I stopped. Plus by that point crochet was kind of taking over. Now crochet I learned how to do in 2017. So the year after I'd been to India, I went to London with some of the same people, and my mum and dad took I can't actually remember what. I think I just took books. Mum and dad took all the luggage on holiday. So like when I got back from London, I remember my entire family had gone down to, I think it was still Cornwall we were going to then. Might have been at the tail end of Cornwall before we started going to Somerset for a bit. I can't remember. But my mum and dad had taken the entire family, like the boys, my cat, dad, and my luggage. So I essentially got back from a week, 4 days, 5 days, however many it was, in London, and got the train up to my cousin's house in Birmingham, where my car had been parked, because we were supposed to be meeting everybody at a certain station, and trains from Nottingham pulling at St Pancras and everybody else was coming into Euston. So Euston came from Birmingham New Street. So I parked up with my cousins. They looked after my car and dropped me into Birmingham. Anyway, got my car, got some petrol and scooted on down to Cornwall and or Somerset. And while we were there, I discovered a little book to teach yourself crochet, which came with a little cheap plastic hook. You know, the kind that sometimes appear in kits. And sat there that 2 weeks, swearing quite a lot, teaching myself how to crochet. And here I am 6 years later. And then I started knitting November 2021 after several false starts. Oh, actually, no. That's a fib. when I was on summer holiday that year, I was pottering around a car boot sale and I saw what I thought was a crochet kit, because I wasn't really paying any much attention. And it was for a purse and it was really pretty, so I thought I'm going to have that. So I bought it, and having lunch in the same place, pottering about, because it was the rarity, an all-day car boot. And if you don't know what a car boot sale is, it's like a giant garage sale, lawn yard sale, whatever you call them. It's normally in a field, loads and loads of people selling things. I've just sloshed coffee all over everywhere. And you can pick up some absolute garbage, but you can pick up some really good things. But this was an all-day one, and it had like an indoor market thing, and it was in the indoor market. Anyway, I'm digressing and babbling. So I looked at it, at this kit, discovered it was knitting, and discovered that it didn't have any knitting needles. So on a bit of a conflab with my mum, who is a fabulous knitter, she said she would help me. So I trundled back to this lady and bought a pair of whatever it was required knitting needles. And it took me a week, I think, to do, with lots of frogging, lots of swearing and lots of whimpering at my mum. But I made this purse. And then I didn't think any more about it. I've still got it somewhere, actually. If I find it, I'll put a photo in here. If not, I won't. Yeah, anyway. So then I didn't do any more about it. I just carried on crocheting. And in fact, I think that was the holiday I made my Luna doll, which is up there somewhere. You can't see it. Memory blank. Complete. Yeah. So anyway, November that year, so 2021, I decided I'd got these knitting needles. They were 6mm, I think, on reflection, because I've got a load of chunky yarn. And I started knitting squares. I don't know where that blanket is either. And eventually I made enough squares to make a blanket. And since then I've been attempting to knit things in a mostly cohesive manner ever since. And then most recently I've started attempting to make things on the machine. You've seen by now, I believe, my 2 attempts at using my machine. This top is another alteration, but I did it by hand. It just needed some inches taking out the back. A dragonfly has just flown past my window, which is really weird because I do not live near enough water. But yes, I'm quite looking forward into doing a bit more sewing things. So yeah, that is pretty much my history with crafting, and we've managed to get nearly half a square done, so that can go on the side for later on, because I've still got a ton of things to do. Including 2 more videos. Anyway, yesterday in my weekly roundup, Is It Finished Friday, I know I told you I'd finished Silmarillion, and I know I showed you my axe throwing, but I also completely forgot to tell you, because my brain's a bit scrambled, the, you know, the little college course I was doing on childcare. I passed it. Bearing in mind, this was a woman who last summer got a 2-1 in history, and now I'm doing a course in I get bored. Anyway, I'm going to stop babbling, and I'm going to put a stitch marker on this and pick it up later. And then move on to the next video. Sorry, I can't finish a granny cluster on only 1 or 2 stitches. I don't know why. It has to be the third. I have to have it finished on a third. Weird, I know. Never mind. Right, yes. So with that, I shall bid you adieu, whatever it's called. Take care of yourselves, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't look after anyone else. And in the immortal words of Bill and Ted, be excellent to one another.